In this quick tip, we're going to show you how to export your Brillium assessment questions into an Excel spreadsheet, make a few changes, and then import them back into Brillium. We're going to do this using the Excel spreadsheet. Excel importing does not support all Brillium question types. Some just don't necessarily lend themselves very well to the row-column format of a spreadsheet. In this case, we're using multiple choice, weighted multiple choice. We have a few other types in here like true, false, and drop-down select, and those are all supported, so they work absolutely fine. So the first thing we want to do is export our assessment questions. We have an assessment here. It's called Brillium Certification, Feedback Level 1. We're going to go to the upper right corner. We're going to click the Tools menu and choose Export. Now, by default, it's going to export it in a format of Brillium XML. That supports all question types. That's a special Brillium format that allows you to export and import questions regardless of the type. What we're going to do is we're going to choose Excel. Instead, it gives us a little warning. We've already checked our assessment and we're good there. So what we're going to do is we're going to export that assessment. It's a really fast process, and then we'll download the file. Once we have that file, we're going to pull it up, and there are 3 tabs on the Brillium export spreadsheet. We have instructions, examples, and questions. The first tab of instructions basically explains how to work with this spreadsheet. If you haven't used it before, it's highly recommended that you read this through. If you're creating questions using this spreadsheet template, you might want to review some of the examples on the second tab. So we provide examples of all the different types you might want to create and how to go about creating those. It's very important that this format of this spreadsheet is not changed, because if you do, when you go to import these, it's going to fail. The third tab is our questions. So what we've exported is right here. We don't have a very complicated assessment, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change this last question. We're going to change it from within Brillium you can do all of the following except, and we're going to change it to the most exciting thing you can do in Brillium is. And then what we'll do is we're going to change the fourth answer. It says grow 8 feet taller in 3 days. We're going to change this to 100 feet taller. So we've made 2 very small changes. I want to point out one thing before we go. There's a column called Quest ID, that's question ID. This is really important. These are the IDs of the questions when they were exported, so that when we import them back in, if we want Brillium to replace the questions that already exist, it's going to use that column to match question by question. And we'll see how that works by saving our changes and returning back to our assessment. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to the Tools menu and choose Import. Once our file is selected, very important option here, merge with existing question where IDs match. We're going to choose yes. This means that if we made changes to existing questions, it will match to the existing questions and replace them with what we have in our spreadsheet. If we've added new questions, it's simply going to add them because there is no ID there. So it's a safe option. We're going to choose Import. And then what we'll do is we'll go back to our changes, and you'll see the most exciting thing you can do in Brillium is, we'll go back, and we'll see answer option number 4 is grow 100 feet taller in 3 days. And that's how you export questions into the Brillium Excel template, make changes, and re-import them.